So there you go.
Hi guys, as Dr. Quinn said, my name is Alyssa and I'm representing my group for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lawrence County. And this is Tim, who is our research analyst, and he will be chiming in a little later about some of the research we did. So we can get started. What did you do today is kind of a slogan we picked up just for our campaign, because we want to be able to go up to kids and have them answer something, not what you do today and them say, oh, I didn't do anything, I did nothing. We want them, whether it's Big Brothers Big Sisters or some other volunteer program, we want them to be able to say they did something. So who are Big Brothers and Big Sisters? They're a mentoring program that helps children realize their potential and prepare them for their futures. And they've been doing this since 1904. And the National Big Brothers Big Sisters even conducted the first ever nationwide impact survey of mentoring programs, and they have the results to prove that what they're doing is working. And so what about Lawrence County? It's a different chapter of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but just as important as ever. They are been in operation since 1995, and they target children from single-parent homes. So not just the poverty that you can look on national websites, more of a single-family home. So what are we going to do for you? Our goals of this campaign are to recruit new bigs with an emphasis on African American males, to highlight to the public that Big Brothers Big Sisters is a safe and effective program, and to increase funds and raise money for the program. We have many different messages and tactics that we're going to implement in order to make these goals happen. So what are we trying to say with this? These are our messages. For our first goal, which is to recruit new members, is that we want bigs do not counsel their littles. They provide them with a pathway to reach their full potential. We want it to get the point across that they spend 12 hours per month. It's not a lifetime commitment. We want kids and students to know that you don't have to give up all of your time to do this, but a little bit of your time can make a difference. And there are site-based programs offered, so it's not like you have to go out and be spending a lot of money on this, because there's tons of programs offered through Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And our second goal is to highlight the safety, which is definitely one of the biggest factors, because we want to show parents and the community that we're not just plopping children together and letting them run off. We want to show that this is a safe program, and that one of the messages we have is that children under the age of 18 are supervised, and that there are extensive background checks for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So everybody is checked and everything is safe with the program. Our third and final goal messages are that it is a nonprofit program, so they do depend on fundraising events and help from outside sources. And we want to utilize the local partners that Big Brothers and Big Sisters has already established in Lawrence County. And we want to create new ones for them, because partners, as we've learned through classes and organizations, know that partners, you can make or break a deal, and they can take you to the very next level that you need to go. That's our messages that we're going to try and get across for all of our goals. So our research that we conducted, we first sent a survey. We contacted all the high schools in Lawrence County, which was beating itself a little bit, but we actually got back approximately 150 responses, so we were really pleased with that. And you have a hard copy of this, and I know this might be hard for some people to read, but we asked 10 basic questions regarding students and their volunteer, if they volunteer or not, and if they've heard of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, because that's what we need to know. Do students know what Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lawrence County is? Are they volunteering already? And if they're not, why aren't they? We had to find out the root of before we could proceed with our campaign. So the first school that we got responses back for was Wilmington High School. And the graphs down here are just go through some of the basic questions. You can see it's pretty even between male and female, which is good because you are looking for males to become mentors. And the age is right where a great mentor could start. The average is 15, so that's great. They can start there and keep moving up, and they can learn and get their friends. Everybody wants to do what their friends are doing at that age. Here's where we actually found some of the most shocking information, I think, because we want to reach African Americans. And here you can see 89% of the students are white. So the demographic that we're reaching out to, unfortunately, does not hold a very large number for the mentors that we need. So that's going to be a little bit of a process for us. We need to reach that 3% that we have up there of the African American males and really try to push them to be mentors. But we are going to suggest that you know, maybe trying, I know, with parents, and they might want the African American male to be a mentor, but we have a large margin of white students that I'm sure we could reach out to also. It's also at Wilmington half and half. Some have heard of it and some have not. And this actually isn't very good because we want more students to know about it. You know, it's great that half of them do, but the other half have no idea what Big Brothers and Big Sisters is. And finally, do they have an interest in Big Brothers and Big Sisters if they've heard of it? Unfortunately, also 59% did not have an interest, but we're hoping to change that with a couple events and showing students that it's a great program to be a part of. And that's from Wilmington High School. And next are the results from Shenango High School, which are very similar. You can see it's a little more male dominant, but it's not much more. And the age is about the exact same, so that's good that we're working with the same numbers. They actually have a larger margin of white students compared to their African Americans, so we're looking at the same situation with both schools. And here, a lot more have actually heard of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, so that's a good thing to go off of, that Shenango High School is more educated about the program. And here again, it's about half with the interest level, so we're really going to work on building up that interest level. A couple more things about the surveys that are not in graph form is that from Wilmington and Shenango of how they hear about the program. Did they just hear it on the news, radio? Did a friend tell them? And the majority for both schools was word of mouth. They heard it from a friend of a friend, and that's how most of the news got across to them about it. And unfortunately, at both schools, it was under 15% that they saw it through social media, which for high school students, you would think that'd be the top percent. So we really need to up the social media for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, because that's what students are using. Our interview that we conducted, actually, Tim did a phone interview with the Butler Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and he's going to take a second to talk to you about it. It was a really great interview, and they got a lot of great information, so I'm going to let him take the floor.
Just to talk a little bit about the interview. We talked with the Butler chapter. We sent out a lot of phone messages to places like New York, Chicago, Detroit, even Central Ohio. We didn't get a full in-depth interview with Central Ohio, but one thing that came up was they were in a very similar situation to what we're currently in, that they had merged together to create the third largest Big Brothers Big Sisters chapter in the country. Very interesting. They have a lot to say that didn't make it into the research, unfortunately, because of time conflicts and different scheduling conflicts. But what we learned in Butler is that a majority of reasons why people were not becoming bigs was because they were moving away. They were going out of the area, doing other things with their time. And I would have to go back just for one chart here very briefly. At Wilmington High School and as well as Shenango High School, the biggest majority of reasons why they weren't getting involved in the program is because they were involved in other activities, other volunteer programs, and transportation was a big issue. And the number that I had was over 64.5% of people, that was their main concern for why they weren't getting involved. They were concerned about the time factor, and I think that's something that we really need to address with one of our messages. And the other concern, going back to the interview, was the time that it takes to match a big with a load. From Central Ohio and Butler, that time can take anywhere between 6 to 18 months. But towards that longer end, you had a much bigger drop off. So we don't have any information of that currently. That's something that we have to address.
So after our research, we found out a lot of useful information. Students aren't getting this through social media. They're just hearing about it and they're thinking they need to put more time in this than they do. Not that we want students to show up for an hour and call it, that's all they think they need to do, but we need to really show students the informational things they need to know, that it's 12 hours that they need to spend with these students, and that it's a great experience to change someone's life, to be a mentor and really make a difference. So we need to show them the good things about it, not just that it's time out of your schedule or that you don't know enough information. So how we're going to make all of this happen? A few different tactics. Of course, the social media and web presence. We're going to concentrate on YouTube by having mentor diaries. And then what we're going to do is we're going to record a couple of different bigs and just have them be very casual about it and say why they love to do this. Because if I saw someone my age saying why they love being a big or why they love being a teacher or coach or anything, that would make me more inclined to want to become that. So we just really want to make these video diaries stand out. We can post them to Facebook and create links to them through informational ads that we start to send out. And of course, Facebook. We know that Big Brothers Big Sisters has a Facebook profile, but we need to start moving the traffic from the profile to the fan page. And we actually created a fan page for you. All three people like it so far. We're really excited. But we're hoping this becomes the main form of how information is given and taken. This is a great way, statuses, you don't even have to be there all day anymore to post them. You can go to Hootsuite or there's tons of different ways to post statuses when you're not there and post the videos. So we're hoping this is a great way to get, this is our Facebook page. We're hoping everybody go home and like it. So, this is going to be a great way to get students to interact. They can post on there, ask questions, and post experiences. And we know there was issues with pictures, but it doesn't mean that some pictures can't be posted. Now the web presence. I know we've talked about this before, but I wanted to show you some different Big Brothers and Big Sisters organizations, how you see them on the web. When you type in Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Pittsburgh, it goes straight to a website that's dedicated to just Big Brothers Big Sisters of Pittsburgh, and this is their home page, and you can see that they're the big.
Sorry.
It's okay. They have the same logo and everything, and this is Rochester's. I wanted to show because if you go next, this is Nationals. It's the same template as Nationals, so we're assuming that there must be some kind of template that we can get into and create Lawrence County this template, because having your own web presence will be so much more informative for other people. It's great to have a partnership with Cray and have your information on the Cray website, but to have your own is only going to boost the image of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Lawrence County and the information flow, because if you have bbbsoflc.org, it's going to be much easier for people to remember and go to instead of having to go the extra step in going through a different website. So we just want to present this to you as another idea, and that was our social media and web presence. In our media, you also have a hard copy of a press release that our writer, Leah, created. We actually have a full media list of all the media outlets in Lawrence County, and we're planning on sending that out to them. It's an informational press release that's just saying that mentors are needed and giving some more information about the organization. And events. Of course, this is a great way to get the community involved and reach out to people. We know that Pizza Joe's is one of your partners, and we want to utilize that with a pizza pie eating contest. The logistics are definitely in the works right now. This is something we were thinking of a fun way, so we're going to definitely branch out on that more. But now we want to know what you thought and your questions and suggestions, ideas.
Okay, great job. Okay, Allison, so now you can take a few minutes and you can ask Rick some questions or take something that you might have, like some follow-up or more explanation about.
Sure. First of all, it was a great presentation. Thank you for putting so much work into it. I'm going to throw you guys a little bit of a curveball, which I apologize for.
That's okay.
But as far as the social media and the website, we're sponsored by Cray, and so Cray has the PR professional I was discussing with you working on it, and he actually really strongly feels and is advising that we stay, so that we are a part of Cray's whole mission, and so that we are a cohesive organization. And so unfortunately, your direction of going on